Book 284. Good morning, good morning. Welcome back to Morning Motivation with Matthew Daniels, and today I'm going to tell you guys about the Elixir of Eternal Life and the Dastardly Double Cross. That's right, the Elixir of Eternal Life and the Dastardly Double Cross. But what is Matthew Daniels talking about? A long time ago, on an island which sat somewhere inside of what we call the Pacific Ocean today, a man became obsessed with creating an elixir which would grant eternal life to anyone who drank it, so that he might sell the formula and become rich beyond his wildest dreams. This man, who was one of my ancestors no less, was the most skilled scientist in the entire land, but even he could not get the formula exactly correct. Realizing that he needed help in order to see his ambitions achieved, the man went to one of his friends and requested his assistance. He told his friend that if he helped him when he sold his elixir and made his fortune, he would give him half of whatever he was paid for it. The friend agreed, and the two of them spent many days and nights experimenting with potions and testing the results. The friend mentioned his endeavors to a friend of his own, and this new friend convinced him to betray my ancestor and steal his formula once it was created. Because he was not a good person, the friend of my ancestor agreed to the dastardly deed, and the two of them began to plot behind my ancestor's back. As my ancestor worked with who he thought was his friend, the so-called friend was secretly feeding all of the information they were learning to the third friend who my ancestor did not know. Then, the third friend, who my ancestor did not know, decided to betray his own friend as well and keep all of the fortune for himself. He then went to a rich man who could pay for the elixir of eternal life, and he made a deal with him to purchase the elixir as soon as it was created. The day finally came when my ancestor successfully created the elixir of eternal life, and he showed it to his friend who helped him. "Congratulations," his friend said fraudulently. "We will soon be rich." That night, the friend stole the elixir and the papers with the formula written on it, and he ran off to meet the third friend who my ancestor did not know and show him what he had. When he presented him with the elixir, the third friend that my ancestor did not know allowed his true intentions to come out, and he struck his friend over the head and killed him. Then he grabbed up the elixir and the papers, and he ran off to the rich man who said he would buy it from him. Reaching the rich man, he showed him the elixir, and he asked him where his payment was. The rich man, being very shrewd in business, said he needed to test the elixir before paying for it. To test it, he gave some of it to his old and sickly pet bird, and almost instantly after drinking it, blood oozed from the bird's eyes and he died. Appalled at this, the rich man ordered that the third friend, which my ancestor did not know, be seized, and he said he would have him killed for trying to poison him. Just then, my ancestor stepped into the home of the rich man, and he held up a bottle of a purple liquid. "This," my ancestor said confidently, "is the real elixir of eternal life, and I am the scientist who created it." My ancestor went on to explain that he knew his friend could not be trusted, and indeed, that is what he was counting on. He said that he did not know anyone who would buy his elixir from him, but he did know that his friend could not be trusted. So, my ancestor counted on the fact that he would try to double-cross him, and thus he would inadvertently lead him to a suitable buyer. My ancestor had created the elixir before he ever spoke to his fake friend, and he was only feeding him fake information the entire time, waiting for him to lead him to a buyer. The rich man laughed out loud at the craftiness of my ancestor, and he gave some of this new elixir to his dead pet bird, and the bird promptly came back to life. After that, my ancestor was paid a huge fortune for the elixir of life, and the third friend that my ancestor did not know was taken out back and executed. And so, the morning motivation of today is the elixir of eternal life and the dastardly double cross. In life, you cannot trust everyone that you meet to think and act like you. Instead, you can only trust people to be who they really are on the inside. Never interact with a person and expect them to be something they are not. They can only fake for a short period of time. Understand who you are dealing with before you fully commit to dealing with them. And that way, you can maintain control of any situation. So today, trust people to be who they are. Stay true to who you really are, and always strive to do that which is good. And remember, you are awesome, you are amazing, you are wonderful, and you are great. And you are going to change the world. I just hope I'm still alive to see it, family. I'm out. Good morning. To order books in the Morning Motivation with Matthew Daniels book series, search Morning Motivation with Matthew Daniels on Amazon.com or visit www.dandyandbigherm.com.